close quarters. Before we stab the enemy, the instructors work us into a frenzy. When we shout, "Kill, kill, kill," we mean it. One recruit has his own battle cry and reveals the army is still missing its target on racism. That's right, he just shouted "fucking Paki" while being filmed for our passing out video. This footage is included and will be given to recruits and their families when they complete training in May. That's now just a month away, too close for comfort. If I finish training and pass out, I'll have to wait 4 years before I can leave the army. I lost the right to leave, no questions asked, 2 months ago, so I use my fake girlfriend again and write a letter which I hope will get me out in time.
I've been here nearly 5 months, and it's time to get out. I've written my discharge letter saying that my girlfriend's pregnant and the situation's just so complicated, I can't be here anymore. I want to hand it in about half an hour. I have no idea how they're going to react.
The training staff are sympathetic. I feel terrible lying, but I have no choice if I'm to get out. The army's 1,300 infantrymen short. I'm put under pressure to stay and still get sent on final exercise, so I don't disrupt training for the rest of my platoon.
It's the last day of the final exercise. The last one I'll ever do with the British Army. As with the rest of them, it's been one of massive lows, followed by massive highs of the simplest of things. You get really close to the lads when doing this, everyone bonds really tightly. And obviously they all go off to do this for real. I know from time to time I wonder how they're doing.
Afterwards, I'm sent back to Catterick for more interviews. During the day, I'm put to work in the army stores. At night, I follow one last lead. I track down the recruit who I was told made a complaint against Corporal A. He's in the TV room, it's dark. He doesn't know me and is cautious when I start asking questions.
So what, how come you complained in the first place? Was it against one of them, you just said?
Against all of them, really.
Yeah.
But there was just something playing out, there was just in prayer.
The Holy Spirit in my spine and the love of
What, it's like beasting you, or like actually like hitting you and stuff?
Nah, proper beating shit.
He doesn't tell me exactly what happened to him, but he's the third recruit from the platoon I can't name to describe being beaten up.
I never got it bad, but like...
I got it straight in the eye.
No, just normal shit really, just punch and kick really.
He says he's been interviewed by the Royal Military Police and seems uneasy about having spoken out. He tells me he didn't want to be in the infantry in the first place and is still waiting to transfer out. He describes Corporal A as the best of his corporals, saying he prefers him to B&C. It's now just 11 days before training finishes, and I still don't know if the army will let me leave. I've already had 6 interviews. Today is my 7th, and it's with a senior officer. I'm given a grilling, but my application for discharge is finally approved.
Now that's Ace 1! Stand easy.
During 6 months undercover as an infantry recruit, I've witnessed the best and the worst of army training. I've seen how corporals using discipline responsibly can make a real difference to recruits' lives, and I've felt the bond of shared experience. It's evidence the army is beginning to learn the lessons of its troubled past, but not quickly enough. After the Deep Cut scandal, it introduced extra training for corporals before they become instructors. Yet Corporal Wilkinson still punched a recruit full in the face and forced 2 others to the ground, one with a rifle loaded and ready to fire. Corporal Wilson has grabbed a recruit round the neck, punched 3 others and even urinated on one. In the platoon I can't name for legal reasons, a recruit claims Corporal C beat him, injuring his hand so he can't salute properly. Corporal B is accused by a recruit of punching and kicking him. Another says he choked him. I've since discovered that the corporal has a conviction for assaulting a man outside a nightclub in 2001. And Corporal A, investigated for punching a recruit in the face, investigated again 2 months later after another recruit complained, and then suspended from duty.
I'm out. I never thought it'd really happen until I actually got to the gate, walked through and looked around and thought, I'm out.
The Army says I was an exemplary recruit. Here's what it says about the results of my investigation.
I've got an absolute responsibility to ensure that the young men and women who volunteer to serve Queen and country and come into the Army are trained properly. I have a duty of care to ensure that they're trained in a robust and resilient way. Now, at times there's a matter of judgment as to whether training is robust and resilient, or it may have crossed a line to what others would call bullying. That's a hard call to make. Where it's crossed the line to bullying, we will treat it exactly the same way as we would treat abuse of a civilian in Iraq. We will investigate, because the Army does not tolerate bullying in any shape or form. I believe we've learned a lot of lessons in recent years, and the Deep Cut experience has been very painful for us, but after Nicholas Blake QC's investigation, over 240 proposals were made, the vast majority of which we've already reacted to and put in place. Look, I'm a realist, and I head an organisation of over 100,000 in the regular Army, 150,000 if you include our reserves as well. The vast majority of people know what they should do and how they should live and how they should behave. There will always be some that get it wrong. My aim is to reduce that number to the absolute minimum.
The Army says it's investigating all 5 of the corporals featured in our programme. We will be helping their investigation.
Undercover soldier Russell Sharp talks to Radio 5 Live's Nick Wallace in a few moments about the issues raised in tonight's programme, and you can have your say too. Listen on digital TV, digital radio or online.